brilliance from Claric, just being able to find that kill onto Brienz, who was being relatively passive, but just making sure that, okay, we're not at a disadvantage if they go for the retake.
Big Papa's in the smoke with a shorty.
Whoop.
Big Papa, we got another nickname. Had a few of those this week.
Dude, maybe he's a Biggie fan. Hopefully not that Biggie. 5-3 as Heretics, well, they get their aggression on the server. 4 players pushing up in A main, finding the opening through the smoke, but guess where the gap is? NAVI guessed it was B, and they were right. But this time, moving it towards the C side. This is where the problems have been before with Boo holding it down, but the fort falls early. And
hello, hello. Hello. अरे भाई हम अभी आ चुके हैं थोड़ा वॉच बर्थडे करने क्योंकि खराब हो गया है मेरा स्ट्रीमिंग पीसी सो गेमिंग नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ अब करना अभी थोड़ा वॉच पार्टी कर लेते हैं और इंटरेस्ट हो तो देख लेना
For quite a while. If anything, his own teammates' utility is now hindering him a little bit of taking these fights. It will have to be the fadeaway. Just holding on to the weaponry for the next round. Another good reaction from the side of NAVI. And a piece that I really want to point out was that Heretics were really ready for that. They had the Reckoning to throw into the B side because of how many times they do it. What NAVI do, they tap the plant, Reckoning goes, and there is nobody on that site anymore. That's a really good mid-round call.
Absolutely, and again, just building layers onto what we've seen before. And what they're seeing in that round as well, with the build online, with the aggression up through A main. A very, very good read and an even better result for NAVI, now 1 behind. That pistol follow-up.
म्यूजिक को कॉपीराइट आ जाता है चलो फिलहाल ऐसे ही काम चला लेते हैं तो जब तक लैपटॉप से ही होता है आज गेमिंग नहीं होगी पूरा वॉच पार्टी होगा
Before giving up the A site because you had the advantage, but then not keeping the advantage, just overextending just a little bit, even though he was sat in a smoke with a shorty. It was enough to give things back. Maybe almost playing reactively to the side of NAVI, which again, when you come in with your opponents having a stand-in, I don't really expect you just to be playing reactively. I want to see them take control of some of these rounds. And they've attempted it with some of the A-site aggression. But I wonder if there's going to be a moment on the B-site where they actually just stand and fight them. Because the amount of times either they've gone there or they've gone through there, I'd say it's more rounds than not.
Fielu had the angle, but forced to give it up thanks to that deep smoke up.
TP.
As the wall goes up, 3 are already through. Comeback under a lot of pressure. When that falls, but no. He's not being watched or held. Fielu just diverted his gaze, and that will be enough for the opening pick in the hands of Heretics. That's the problem. Yeah, not knowing that this A side is clear. I was worried that he'd be pincered by that door open, but they're a little slow getting there. A reset from comeback onto the backside. But oh no!
Oh,
he's able to fade away from that stun, catch the headhunter shot, and give them a huge advantage to play with now. Heretics. It seems to be a formality. They can just wait for Boo as well. The clock in their favor.
A much bigger advantage than prior, and a lot of gaps. Hero looking like he's about to be rounded on, and in fact it's come back with everything. The quick switch working, only one left to be found, but Clark is that one. He's going against everybody. A chance for a clutch of the ages. A 1 versus 5. Benji's gonna swing.
Oh my god!
His debut is gonna pull off the ace.
Funky versus Edge. Nice one, nice one.
Big Papa's on the server. Oh my god! 5-5. It looked like comeback was on for round of the week. And then this guy, the IGL, I mean, look at these shots. This double, so nasty. And Gloric says, hold my beer, brother. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh my god.
And one whole team put in the dirt. You talk about leading by example. NAVI staying alive here.
Sentinel's already sending a contract over.
That was ridiculous.
Oh god, Navi, I hope you haven't put too low a buyout on him. They're gonna be coming. They're gonna be sniffing around. That is on his debut as well. I think there's been so many things about Navi that we've talked about.
Scout destroyed.
That's kind of been undersold a little bit. But coming up from NRG Academy and getting an ace versus Heretics, 1v5 ace as well. That might just beaten anybody's debut play that we've ever seen.
Oh.
Nice shot by comeback.
It's
It's going to be hard to steal the show after what we just witnessed. Oh my god, an unassuming hero indeed. With 2 picks now for Heretics. So they find their way back to the chartered course. And it's comeback that is steering the ship. Hands firmly on the wheel. This one, he doesn't look to let slip, but Kalasha forces the issue. Gloric still alive. It's the same side as well. You better be careful. But Kalasha, I mean, I'm not sure how Woots ended up with that one. He was stunned up, but the first bullet, all he needed. Gloric to do it again. Should be impossible. The ult sent through. He doesn't have that info on the second play. You can come at this together. The trades all they need, and you bet your ass they're going to give Big Papa some respect.
Okay,
to do it again. The last one seemed impossible. This one seems all the more likely, but he doesn't know where Boo is. It's the clutch versus the clutch, the IGL versus the IGL.
Oh my god,
9 kills in 2 rounds. Safe to say the clock
I
can't believe what I'm watching.
Maybe NA is better than EU. I'm starting to have to.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself here.
They win champs. They send over a guy from NRG Academy.
Hold on. This is what happens when you have someone from NA trained in the EMEA system for a few weeks. This is the difference it can make. Yeah, I didn't see him do this on NRG Academy, okay? That's all I'm saying. The EMEA experience, that's what it's all about. Holy shit, this guy's insane. Dominating in every duel in the last 2 rounds. I was joking saying he's still alive, but it's the last time I'll make that statement in jest. NAVI running it down towards the A site. They're guaranteed neck and neck at the half. And it was a streak of 5 rounds by Heretics, but an immediate response by NAVI that gives them the chance for the lead at halftime.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that there's been a response from a player on NAVI.
One guy.
The rest of them have kind of just been watching, enjoying the show as we have. And well, 4v4 retake almost seems unfair for Heretics. Might have to call the admins on this one, see if we can get rid of a couple of those NAVI players. Ruxic about to come under pressure with a nasty position and an easy double. Let's not forget what Ruxic can do. 3 kills in a blink of an eye. Comeback. He's had a great couple of rounds, but it is not going to be enough. NAVI are going to go in with an attack side lead. I can't believe what I'm watching.
It was Boo on map 1, but the IGL of NAVI, the new kid on the block, both at EMEA and at this level, at this tier. But my God, away from home, but looking comfortable as ever. Gloric making a name for himself in his EMEA, in his stage 1 debut, but that's it, halftime. It's time to go to an interview with Fade, Viper, and Chamber.
Yeah, I'm out here with a lot of fans, but some more die-hard than others. We've got some cosplayers in the crowd, so I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, say exactly who you're cosplaying as well.
Yeah, my name is Bennett. I'm cosplaying Chamber.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm Baku and I'm cosplaying Fate.
I'm Hannah and I'm cosplaying Viper.
Now, the real question is, are these the agents you guys main? Are these your favorite agents to play?
Not at all. I'm a Viper main, actually. Viper Astra main, baby, but not Chamber.
No chamber.
I'm actually Neo main.
Okay.
And I'm Killjoy main.
Well, it just means there's going to be more cosplays coming out from you guys. But more importantly, outside of the agents, favorite teams, who are you hoping to see win
Agent का
stage one?
cosplay हो रहा है.
Fnatic.
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 Oh.
Fnatic or Vitality.
Oh my god.
Okay, I feel like we've got a couple of other Fnatic fans there, but also more importantly,
These are the
what's
top
happening
teams
right now?
playing
NAVI,
in
or do
this
Heretics 2-0 this one here, my chamber main?
I think Navi is gonna get
And
a comeback,
favorite.
and it's gonna be map 3.
Okay, map 3?
I'm actually think it's Heroic.
Okay.
I think they will come back, but still Heretics will win.
Okay, so it feels like majority is thinking of map number 3, but either way, make sure you guys stay seated because we got to continue with that second map here.
Yep.
Well, we're getting back into things with
Uptime.
Navi in the lead. At 5-2, Tom, I would have called you crazy, even for entertaining that possibility. But they have earned their way to the top, to the lead of the pack. And look, no one can talk about that without talking about Cloric. Yes, Ruxic is top fragging, but I think Cloric's stolen the play of the week a few times here.
So it's absurd. And then the worst thing is for comeback, like up until Clark 1v5 ace, he might have had it.
Oh, he would have
got the ace if he killed him at the end, but instead just utterly brilliant stuff from him individually. And I talked about all the mid-rounding he was doing, but that's a completely different kettle of fish. Woo, looking to try and make sure this isn't the beginning of something. And wow, with 2 already found for his side. Hero though, quick on the reaction. Leaving him into a 3v3 scenario, that advantage dissipated, but they will have a post plant on C.
Well, I'm gonna say Cloric is still alive. He's been given ends to his friends. It feels stupendous. See if he can get a bit more. Prowler's already pushing a player back as Hero takes that space, and the hope is Filu finds one from the side, but Heretics very patient on that site and make them burn some util at the start. Cloric's the man leading the charge. He's running in, he's taking down, come back, the wall bang, good for 1, and round he goes, still jumping into the angle, still putting his life on the line. As now Boo has to round that corner quickly, the defuse on the way, and Hero's third locks it in. The lead for Navi from good to better, 8-5 now.
It was a solid start. The Heretics, but again, I think this round was more about Hero. Just quick enough reactions, like just a second away from looking back in the other direction and then just holding the line for his teammate. While on that defusal, that's a second pistol.
I'll eat it for you every day. I'll eat it for you every day, baby.
Is that what we call it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's a good leader right there.
Whoa.
But the shots don't
He
land.
didn't even get the kill.
Luckily, Colossus has got some help. That was a little bit messy. It's always hard to hit those sliding neons. And so, man advantage locked in by I'm going to say a narrow margin.
Still do have a sniper in hand. Comeback has been pretty incredible so far, and with already a player drop, Navi do have to be careful. They are investing quite a bit into these sort of rounds, and every gun dropped will help out in the next round. Bear in mind, the comeback will either be playing with the Headhunter or Boo is going to be in trouble for the next, because he's currently on 0 credits. He's given everything to make sure that one of his superstars can have an opportunity. I think Boo might have just seen, Boo, but he's going to have to fall back instead, though. Is there to clean up the mess. Another triple for him. I believe that might move him to the top of the board, which is probably where he should be.
Yeah, based on what we've seen, and indeed 17-7 is Cloric right now. And that's the thing, in terms of the standard for him today, he had already met it on Pearl. I think Navi had great reactions. They played, I will say, I actually liked watching them more than any map under Shell as IGL. Like, I think the way that they moved looked great. And then, well, he just decided to show that he can do more than call a great game.
I've seen Shao do that in 2021.
Yes, well, I under Shao as IGL, is what I'm saying.
I just meant the clutches.
Yeah. You know why?
Oh,
early trade. VCT with
that.
Obviously, there are some weaker weapons for themselves as well, and the potential to retrieve Bulldog at least. Even still, though, this is where the expectations are on Heretics to sort of turn the tide back in their favor. Obviously, the first half, you remove the clutches from Cloric, and they do come out with a victory, but that starts becoming meaningless. I think also when you lose a 1v5, you do have to start looking at the squad and going, you know, probably shouldn't have lost that. It was impressive from one side, but a catastrophe from the other.
Well, I think that's the problem. It's like at that point you're swinging in because you're thinking, oh, we're just better. Let's play like we're better. And I think now it's clear that there's no shortage of individuals on NAVI, new or old. Trades at least to start things out. The B side will fall into Heretics' hands, but Kolosha's got that side angle. This can get very dangerous, and a landed shot puts them ahead. NAVI looking to run away with this map, and it's only Rienz who can rein them back in. Heretics, they desperately need this. This is their pick, and it's looking worse than Pearl for NAVI. And look at the bait. 10 seconds. What are you going to do, Rienz? 7 seconds. We got to stick it eventually, and he's got time. That's going to be down to the pixel, but he's got it. That is ridiculous. Okay, well handled by Rienz, and now it's Hero who has to pull them back into the lead.
A little too early on the swing. And a 1v1 between two Turkish players right at the top of their level. Rienz, he feels like he needs to push through, and you know what? He's going to land the shot immediately. A Red Bull clutch that I think is going to sting for NAVI. That is definitely an error from Kolosha.
Well, in fact, the way he was shifting through that, I think that he would have died before he rounded the corner, or at least he would have been 1 HP. But landing that shot just in time, a massive round. But indeed, Kolosha, he's been having a tough showing, and to go wide there,
it was like he was half a second early.
Yeah, but the thing is, you jump peek that and swing it with your classic, don't you? I know he's got a judge, but the guy has to stick it. If you kill him while planning, great. If you don't, he's come off with the kill you, and you win. It was a silly mistake, and I think that's the pressure on this stage. It felt like it was his moment to shine after being a dim light for so long, and well, snuffed out in that final play. Now 9-6, a chance for Heretics to fight their way back into things. NAVI completely locked out of C.
Oh, that was their bonus round. Reckoning used. Slowing the push, and it leaves NAVI with no real choice. A quick round from Heretics. One that's desperately needed. The last was obviously not really much of a money builder versus the bonus, but this one has gone fantastically. A very quick take into the seaside, and something that they're doing a lot more than what we've seen from NAVI. Bear in mind, NAVI were incredibly slow, going for these sort of B splits, or at least going through that direction. Heretics have been very happy, just go, okay, we're just going to hit C until you're able to slow us down, and thus far they have not been able to do that.
Thanks to that little bit of extra runway in terms of rounds, NAVI saving here is not going to have too much of an impact on them. 3 players carrying it forward. But the gap does close in. And you think at some point we'll have a timeout coming their way to solve that problem of the seaside, unless his idea is already flowing. For Heretics, you know, the problem is, Tom, I like the last few rounds that we've seen, but in the back of my mind, I'm just waiting for Cloric to pull out another ace, another big round. The chances start as soon as they come towards him, which for now would mean any presence on that A side. NAVI completely stacked up there, looking for a very aggressive early fight with the chamber trip covering the B walkthrough, while Heretics will feign that control But look for a big play on C. The Viper's pit there to meet them. And Kolosha landing the
balance
opening. Now they've got themselves that A main control nice and easy.
Yeah, maybe the judge was the problem. It wasn't, but for some reason that seems to work better with the Sheriff. Not a bad start to the round. Rifle picked up, quick play towards the B site for the side of Heretics and Chloric, hoping for something through the smoke that takes damage in, response, ducking and weaving past every spam shot.
Spam pe spam
Heretics
ho
are
raha hai.
fine for now.
No vision
Once
spam.
the Viper's pick kind of locks them out of going back towards the C site, but it seems like Hero's going to give that up, or maybe hesitate just a bit. No, he has given up the pit, but they're seemingly going to eventually stick this, but eventually, maybe going to back out.
Why? The back and forth, it's like a yo-yo on the attack side. They're in, they're out. All they're short of is shaking it all about, but in fact, they've taken down 3. They were waiting for NAVI to get overzealous, waiting for them to step into this arena, and Heretics dominate every fight there. They know that Hero's in that side and don't want to pressure him. At least from what we can see with that judge up close, he wants a rifle, but he's gonna, oh, hold on. Boots getting real close and a little too close for comfort. A shutdown of him, and now Comeback's all alone. Mistakes made on the attacking side. A round set up for success. And now they are in a lot of trouble, but the time is ticking on that spike. They need to be quick. The tap already comes through, and Outlaw on the other side spotted, but they're not on it. He just has to stop them one more time. And Hero landing that shot gets double digits in play for NAVI. Well, it's a messy round, and from Heretic's side, Tom, I was scratching my head as to what we were looking at there with the like 4 different pump fakes we saw.
That shot's absurd. No, it's again, some very weird decision making. Like, I think you're right in the fact that it looked like they wanted the fights. They were constantly trying to bait them in. It works out for them, but then they get incredibly close and not realizing that there's going to be a judge on that angle.
Nice.
That gives the way back in. Chloric again with a high impact frag that gets him his ultimate, makes things incredibly awkward for Comeback. 10-7.
Guys,
NAVI extend that lead a little bit further, but you have to bear in mind both teams' economy is on the brink once more. A victory here could be worth 2, especially with Comeback already using the ultimate in this round.
Prowler went 3B, and that was hurt by Benji. He calls for them to go back. Tiger's going to be clearing the close corners, making sure they didn't take that info of B-main being clear and run with it for deep control. Now they've got to go forward and break this chamber trip, and I think that's something that we'll see a bit more of from Heretics. They know that it's there, and that's free information. It means B will be much lighter, but for them, it looks like right now they're either going to break it and fall back or use that to explode. The fact that B will be lighter defended. They get the info that, okay, Chloric is here. Most of his utility, in fact, all from what we can see, except obviously the refreshing Haunt is now offline. So NAVI are going to be starved for information for the most part. But Filu in this corner, that was one of their last bastions of aggressive control. He's also pushed back. Good map control for Heretics. They're pressuring NAVI. And the door's open on both sides of the map. The defense has no idea where the hit's coming in. Saul Guerrera style.
Warriors that time, but with the B site completely clear, the bait has worked. Comeback holding, but again, those toxins are going to cause him issues. Kolosha already getting past, swinging through, but the trade's back from Comeback to Sublime.
Oh, Hero.
Not quick enough for Hero. A 3v3. Woo. Maybe on a slight off angle. I don't know if they'll expect a second player to be this close. A snake bite in, but it's not going to reach him. I don't know if he's been seen. No, they have no idea. Not a clue. And for Ruxic, this should be impossible. He needs to within a second, and it isn't going to happen. Filu nowhere near the action will finally make the scene, but as I said, their economy's in the bin. Is this worth the fight?
Well, the call's been made. But a wide net spread by Heretics, hoping that Filu steps into it, but that flash will give it away. But they've heard him drop down. He's trapped now. Filu has no way out, and he will be dropped at the end. A success for Heretics. The gap closes in. And I think so far, a lot of the problems for Heretics just come down to, in some of the previous rounds, them playing that little bit looser. Here, this was kind of crazy. Comeback was out of range of his TP and just runs through with his ult in hand. Ends up finding 2 because he waited until just the right moment. Just when the defenders were coming back in to fight for that space in the broken door. He steps in through that wall to take him down. But in a lot of these rounds, when they have the advantage, you still see those individual plays being sought after, and I think that's where the mistakes have been for Heretics. See if they patch that up.
Kolosha send it. He's the one real threat in this round. Having the overdrive online. Everybody else just with a pistol or a bucky. More heavy shields alongside it, but of course that ultimate doesn't last forever. So timing here is going to be everything. Other than that, very few threats in this round for Heretics, but we have seen some of the individual brilliance come through from NAVI. It's just not going to be easy.
That explodes with sound one.
When we get to 50 on the clock, Heretics who previously were fighting those extremities with great success. NAVI set a trap for them here. Filu was playing from afar with the headhunter on C, while the push-up went in from Hero. He was tucked in the close corner, uses his position to break some util, put the pressure on Heretics and force them to speed up, but with Kolosha falling,
it's all gone.
Now we've got problems. The side under threat, big swing from and he connects too. Wonderful work. Just
okay. It looked like he was switching guns.
To say it just keeps going for good old Heretics. Nice shot by Filu. The full shield saving him off that outlaw shot, but little avail really. Pretty much guaranteed. I think play of the week would be stolen if not.
Yeah. No chance of that. Woo. Made that one look easy, but the second Kolosha is down without any real damage. The thing is, he timed the ult well, but yeah, just get absolutely dunked, as do the next few people. That lead is starting to crumble with both pistols, one 1v5 ace, a 4K clutch. The fact that this is now within one round shows that Heretics arguably have been the better side in the buy rounds.
मैच हो रहा है, मजा आ रहा है। और हेलो थोड़ा लाइक दबा के जा जोर से। वॉल डालो अभी थोड़ा जी लैपटॉप खराब हो चुका है, इसलिए थोड़ा गेम प्ले अभी नहीं हो पाएगा। देखता हूँ कब तक ठीक होता, फिर चालू करेंगे अपना स्ट्रीम। तब तक ये वॉच पार्टी ही करेंगे प्रोबेबली। हाँ ये तो घुस रहा है भाई, अंदाज जैसा घुस रहा है। ओ मारा फिर हीरो आके दो मार गया। अभी तो बेटे किया स्पाइक में गिरा जाए, ऑफ लगा के बैठ जाए।
Waits for that moment. Oh no, they're going to walk forward.
They're going for it. They're giving Boo an opportunity. We've spoken about Cloric as the guy with the clutches, but Boo, in terms of numbers, has had more. Smoking to make things a little bit more awkward. That's the only goal. He wants to try and make it a bit weird, but it doesn't work out whatsoever. It is NAVI taking 11th. And I want to point out as well, I think Hero, if I'm not mistaken, threw a snake bite down and then ran into his own snake bite because he didn't think they'd be looking at the angle. I'm pretty sure this is in a moment. Oh, I don't know if we'll see it, but I'm pretty sure he runs into his own
Here it
utility.
is.
Yeah, that's his snake bite. And he just goes, well, they're not going to be looking.
Yeah, they go reveal up. Okay, I'm in. And he gets
Yeah,
himself
timing
two.
would be
Really,
better.
really nice play. And it was that pulled things back into their favor. Back into the 2v2, stabilized, and then the op dropped by Filu. The op dropping the spike is what I mean. That was the leg up they needed. Now 11-9, a gap of 2, comeback, patiently waiting for some overextension towards B main. He'll step into the angle now as the door is being swung open, and that's one for him, but Filu answers back. Stuck in the corner now, 20 HP. They won't challenge any further. Not re-peeking that op, it's a wise move. The spike redirecting to the C site while Boo holds down that A push, but he's seeing nothing.
Kolosha is somewhat isolated here. It's actually
Filu's in.
Filu's, yeah, he's going through with the operator. Doesn't find anything. The duelist has been having a really tough series so far. Ukrainian yet to find his legs, but well, there's at least one. A second as well. Maybe this is the moment for the young star to step up to the plate. The tap of the spike will bait him in, and that's him gone. With Filu low, this definitely isn't a done deal. The TP up gives a surprising position, but the bullets are gone somehow. Boo is still alive. He'll keep himself kicking, at least for the moment.
30 seconds left.
He's got a lot still to do, and it feels like
छोड़
NAVI
दिया
are
था इधर
just
को प्लान
going
करने
to sit
देंगे
and wait for him to play all the mind games. They're going to group up. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is the fact that Filu is on that operator. Missed shot far more likely if he's the second one.
10 seconds left.
Has to just commit this right now, but of course, he expects them to be on site, ready to pounce. We could see it was a free plant, but Navi counted on that,
Wow. NAVI
giving
जीत
their
रही है
opponent paranoia. And 12-9 we go. A 3-round gap, and Navi's chance to bring us to a third map.
वो मार दिया इधर इसके
And as we said, you know, when it comes to Pearl as well, they have had some
go, Kate.
very
Me and you,
high
baby
ceiling
boy. I see you,
on
baby
display.
boy.
Some
अल्लाह
room to
चैम्बर
grow
19
into.
HP जिंदा अल्लाह
And they are filling it beautifully now.
This is the pause that said if there was going to be any opportunities for Angel to speak again, it would come at the hands of Heretics. And that's the thing, that last round I think is a good sign for Na'Vi in general, because do I expect Hero and Ruxic to play well? Yes. After the clutch I've seen, do I now expect Flourish to play well? Yes. But it's been Filu and Kolosha have been very, very quiet. And that round was down to them. That was a double kill coming from Kolosha and the other 3 for Filu. And they've been the players that have been missing a little bit, especially in this second half. For Heretics, it comes down to a little bit more of a difficult decision. You're already on the brink. You do have yourself Benji's ultimate available in the form of the Reckoning, but with Viper's Pit for Hero, Tour de Force if needed for Filu. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle for Na'Vi, and Heretics really scratching their head. And again, this is their map choice. Sure, they have lost both pistols, which makes things so much harder for that victory, but they've also made some catastrophic mistakes.
क्या comeback होगा
Yeah, not to take anything away from Na'Vi, again, they've been doing so well to create their own opportunities, but I couldn't agree more. Like, it has felt like Heretics have had the right plays at times, the right rounds, and then when everything's going their way, they give that gap, that opportunity. And the Na'Vi of old maybe wouldn't have capitalized in the same way, but this one certainly does. B-side flaps through as they look to battle. Heretics are falling to pieces. Every fight lost. And the paranoia comes in from a teammate.
Yeah.
That's about the best piece of utility Heretics have had go in their favor.
The ghost of Boo whispering in his ear.
The wraparound from Benji is not bad. It's now being watched if he was to go to stairs, but a plant here could open up a backstab for comeback. This round is going to be incredibly difficult.
He's selling bait.
Wrap on them.
Trying to give the idea that they're going in the other direction. Ruxic's going to have to do everything here, and he is. He's still watching, still honed in. There was a gap, but unfortunately, Benji wasn't able to find it, and that leaves comeback. Well, we've seen 1-1v5. He was the guy that put them down to 1. He needs to now do everything, and it's not going to happen. An in-zone flawless to close Na'Vi.
NAVI जीत गई 2-1 हो गया। जीत गई नावी। अभी नेक्स्ट मैच चलते हैं। अभी चलते हैं नेक्स्ट मैच। क्या ही गेम था, अच्छा है। थोड़ा रुको। अरे 1-1 हुआ ना, तो ठीक है। अभी और एक मैप है, तो चलने दो चलने दो चलने दो। अरे 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 सॉरी सॉरी, इसमें तड़ाक से कॉपीराइट आ जाएगा। थोड़ा वेट करो। मैप स्टार्ट होता ही भाई, ऐसा पीछे भी दे दो भाई मुझे, अर्जेंट दे देखूंगे मान जाएगा। और उसका जल्दी देख लेता हूँ। बहुत जल्दी चाहिए। हेलो हेलो, क्या करो भाई, लैपटॉप खराब हो गया है। बस यही चीज है, वॉच पर ठीक कर रहा हूँ और क्या। गेमिंग और स्ट्रीमिंग ये एक पीसी से नहीं कर सकता, बहुत लोड पड़ेगा पीस के ऊपर। पीस का वहाँ बैन हो जा रहा है। नॉर्मली 100 FPS 70 FPS आता है, इसमें तो 40-30 ऐसा है। इसीलिए खेल ही नहीं रहा। चलो जब तक पीसी सही होता है थोड़ा आवाज पर ठीक कर लेंगे। पीसी मतलब लाभ। आ जाओ थोड़ा प्रो लेवल गेम प्ले करता हूँ।
Navi equalizes the playing field. When
I think that Philo was having a little bit of a hard time. We saw the counter that Heretics was doing against the Chamber, how they were trying to make his life impossible. But overall, good performance, especially individually. I think that Hero, we see him at the top of the leaderboard, had incredible moments. But I think that every single player on the side of Navi had them.
Yeah, I think they relied on individuals to win this map, but I'm okay with that considering it's a map that, you know, historically, I think it's a 7 loss streak in VCT.
That is the biggest win that they have today. Ending the loss streak on Lotus.
So like the fact that they can now rely on more of the firepower around both Rook and Hero is very good, and Philo getting a little bit more active in the chamber. Like, it's a good sign that they now have a fragging IG No
Yeah.
offense to Shao and Angel.
Oh, marah भाई तो
That's gonna be
that's
the
the
next
truth.
one.
West
Yeah,
End
it's not really Makai, but I mean, it's working. And the fact that Cloric is able to come
Oh, he
in
did
and just
it.
have the performance that he's had, Guga, is absolutely phenomenal because this was that turning point.
This is absolutely insane. These first 3 kills are out of this world because this is not only an ace, it's a 1v5 as you're seeing from this position. Correcting like that. Not only that, off the back of this, he ends up going into another clutch on the next round. And that is when you see Navi have that momentum. Look at him. How are you not going to enjoy it like this? Yeah. But that was chaotic. Winning a 1v5, I'll give that a... It's chaotic.
The attack until that point was looking a little bit weak, and this was the moment in which it turned it all around completely. Like, Heretics were completely in control of this match up until Cloric decided to step up.
Oh my god! The best of the game, baby!
Exactly. That's exactly what you need on your first day. Good for him.
I mean,
Angel's look at being like me as an IGL. I could never. Maybe on Haven that one time.
but it is impressive that they're able to do it. However, something also to really highlight is that
Angel,
it
Look at
didn't
the
start
first-
off.
Angel
Yeah, the
also
first skills. It didn't
Yeah.
start off too hot. Like some of these rounds, they just got so scrappy.
Like, we're speaking about Felu, but seriously, when Mini speaks about Heretics being in control, one of the parts that was a lot in control was comeback. Some of the setups were also made for the trade to literally be impossible. Like, placing the TP inside of Hobbit, but just not breaking the door and just walking around the other side gave him so much comfort in so many occasions, but he was also very ballsy in some of the duels and the pacing that he was taking to get onto those kills.
Yeah, I think something we were talking about this week is about EMEA not only adapting to the meta, but innovating on the meta. And I think both of these teams are coming out with very strong ideas that I think that every region should be looking at, to be honest. I think Chamber in this meta is extremely strong with the amount, like, we're a low util meta, so how do you get rid of a Chamber? The answer is not easily. And so these Chambers are just going to farm on these defenses, and I just love the compositions being played.
Well, hopefully they are able to carry that forward into the final map that we're going to be having a look at, which will be Bind. Question really was earlier today whether or not we would get to this point, because we're like, okay, Heretics, they have a strong start, they like that momentum, they want to keep things going, and Lotus was there, potentially.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, where's the...
I think fundamentally we're gonna see primary Judas, probably Neon with the Chamber, and then Benji's flexing.
So you think we're gonna see Chamber versus Chamber again?
I would hope so. I'm enjoying it so far, and I think Bind is a good map for it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I know and I'm biased because this morning I was watching Gen G and I saw them using the Yoru. I wasn't very impressed, but it is one of the maps where I could still see, you know, if you want to play it, it's still a possibility. I know that we haven't seen it a lot, so I think that the door is still open to see what they're going to do, because at the end of the day, Heretics has been playing all of the compositions that they played today, which I think too, have no damaging utility, and I feel like for a map like Bind, where post plants are so important, going into it with nothing to play safe and just play for that moment of the round might be taxing for them.
I think they'll play Brimstone. They'll have the molly for the post. They'll have molly to delay. I think that Viper versus Harbor is an interesting discussion. I think Heretics veering towards the Harbor on Lotus maybe suggests that it's just going to be something that they try everywhere, to be honest.
So what do you want to see Rian's in? Do you want him to continue on the Sky?
Yes, on this map, Bind, Sky's only got that.
Let me check real quick. Didn't they play Gecko on kickoff?
They trolled a little bit on Binds. They started out with double Judas, and then they went towards a double share with Fade and Gecko.
Do you think there is a big difference in terms of utilizing the Viper here versus the Harbor? Would that give different, I guess?
I think the Viper's better at stalling in general. Like and the play patterns of Viper are more well known, and that can play both ways. It can be an advantage in the sense that you know how to play the agent really well, but in one respect, the opponent also knows. So Heretics' creativity on the Harbor could come out here. But in general, Viper has just been kind of a staple on this map. So I think veering towards the Viper makes sense. But in terms of like grands, like narrative
of things.
overall, I'm kind of enjoying the Harbor.
Yeah, me too. I would like to see it. I think that maybe, and especially because of the damage and utility, able to be going against the Cove, like on Bind, it's not that you shoot at the plant, you will be throwing a lot of that utility, and the Cove cannot stop all of that. Can stop the bullets though. Maybe that's also one of the reasons why they decide not to go for the Harbor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually an interesting thing because we saw those little, you were calling them turtle coves or turtle bubbles. And on the A side, if you're running up towards that, trying to get the spike down on A easily, I do think that the turtle cove would be really nice to try and shoot over and then also try and plant the spike.
I think that, it's something that we were seeing on Pearl. Again, we're theory crafting because we still don't know what they're going to play, but how they were using it also to use it kind of like a body shield for Wood to be put in, for Wood to be able to get into positions that he would need to use the slide for to get in more safely, but being able to save it for later was also very interesting.
Oh, we got spoiled.
Did you?
Did we?
It's okay. I really understand that because I do think that you will get swamped by utility. While
we can bring out the Harbor for another day.
Okay, we'll try. Yo, maybe not. We've seen Heretics. We don't know what Navi are going to do. Can you imagine?
True.
They got the Harbor maybe. In terms of the Navi, I feel like this leads into it quite nicely. Do we think that we're going to see what we saw in Clash? Do we think they're going to stick to what we've been seeing from them this series in terms of like this identity of having this chamber, having this neon, sticking to this double duelist?
What did they play in Clash, do you know?
So they did the Waylay Yoru with Faye the Brim and Viper.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go for Euro. I think everyone's given up.
So maybe okay. So even like Philo just going on the chamber. I mean, just instead, chamber. Or maybe a Raze.
Raze chamber.
He's up and down on Raze.
I think Raze is underrated in meta currently, especially on a map like Bind, where it's just pretty good. You got
it's like plug and play. That's the kind of thing that you probably have done so many times that you don't really need to get that.
But we can just see him chamber, and then we still see the Raze anyway, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially one more week of Waylay. I would love to see some Waylay here.
Do you think this is the time to pull out the Waylay when you're like final map in the series?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever the plan is definitely working for Navi. They just needed those 2 rounds for Glory to be absolutely 100% in the game, and they made Heretics and they made them feel mortal, you know? As in going into today, we're playing with a sub, there's been changes here and there, we don't know what's gonna happen. I think that the mood right now has to be very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's also that momentum that you're bringing into this final map this time around when we're looking at the side of Navi. They just won Lotus. Can they replicate on Unbind and get an extra point? We'll see as we're going to be heading into our final map of the series, Bind, with our casters.
Well, it's time to see how this story ends. A third map bought by NAVI and even trades 13-9 victory, trading out their opponent's map picks. I like what I've seen so far from NAVI, I have to say, but Heretics have also shown us that if they can just tighten up that ship a little bit, and how I'd expected by map number 3, that they could easily walk away with a lot more rounds than they did. But if they give a gap to NAVI, that gap will be exploited.
I'd argue you could say the same the other way around on map 1 though. Like the Boo back-to-back clutches. Like there's been a lot of moments in this game. Like this game has been, I would say for NAVI, great. Like you are playing very close with a stand-in who, let's be honest, has been struggling a little bit. Yeah. And on the other side of things, worrying. Like you are coming in with barely any changes. You've had a whole month to sort of fix everything, get ready for this, and you've lost the map with a 1v5 in there. Like this is something that is definitely going to have to be fixed for Heretics, but can they do it here and now?
Things may look strange. We'll get the HUD back online, but of course NAVI on the defensive side. And they're the ones giving up this space, allowing for the plan to come through while the wraparound from Heretics. And remember, they've gotten sites, they've gotten advantages, but then they throw them away. This time the push comes together. As we get 3 players pushing into Lambs, but the stun is perfect. The shot's not so much. Benji Fishy returns a double, keeps them ahead, and the trades working wonders for the side of Heretics. Now, time ticking, and Gloric with another clutch needed. No idea where either opponent has made their way to, and they just need to bide their time. It's death by 1,000 cuts as Boo lands the final blow.
Didn't manage a pistol in the last map at all, but get the first one in this one. And we've already seen how important a pistol can be. Definitely a much faster pace. That was the thing, they had a fair amount of success with a lot of those dive-ins, but I felt like at times where Heretics overthought things a little bit too much in the last map where they almost got outbrained by the new IGL of Cloric. This one though a little bit simpler, and while with barely anything to play with. Mainly just the hope of getting some orbs, but the spams has already done an unfathomable amount of damage. Hero is on his last legs. Are they still going to try and go through this? They are. They're going to just try and run. You know what? Getting a kill from this scenario really isn't bad, but I think Comeback's just going to keep spamming those shots, and eventually we'll be there. What's a health clean up?
No, what a farm gun there.
Now we move into the real meat and potatoes of this game. This is where things get interesting. Rifles up for the side of NAVI. It was actually a decent bit of promise there. A right click going the way off that defensive side, and yeah, maybe we get a bit of...
Somebody steals my kill.
Maybe we get a little bit more damage out of that one. But, as we said, this is the real game. Aggression early on from NAVI. Getting control over A short. One player has an easy out. Kalasha not so much, and a flash primed and ready for re-ends. It's gonna blind, and those players will just give up the control, but that means Woot instantly fills the space, and now the Judge set up in lamps, a dangerous foe. Even if you hit that stun, he has a good chance with that gun.
Playing a fair bit of Yoro over at kickoff. Of course, nobody's doing that anymore. We are at a 0%. Unfortunately, now he can't TP out of there, so it almost feels like a necessity to group up with him, but yet to really commit to that. Smokes will now go down. There are still 3 players here from the Navi side. As you said, this is the round with the rifles. This is the round you're expected to win, but thus far, not done too much damage.
Spike planted.
Oh, my man.
Nasty. Not the round where you want to have blips like that. Heretics now with an advantage, even with the weaker weapons. Remember, Woot has been sat here. The highest mobility agent in the game hasn't moved for the last minute, just patiently waiting for a peek, or knowing that map control will be denied. And that's almost good enough. Sure, comeback goes down, but how do you get this diffuse across the line? And when the smoke bloomed, that Judge can step on in. Confirm there's no defuse, and the shots are missed! Cloric saves the day yet again! That round should have been Heretics all over! But this guy, miracle after miracle in this series.
He wasn't even the guy that got shot at with the Judge, was he? That was Hero.
No.
He turns back around, saves his teammate, and then turns back to kill the last guy. Like, it really does seem like he has eyes in the back of his head. I don't know. Like, we get the... Yeah, he's just literally not even facing the right way. Just out of the corner of his eye, has managed to see the moment the Woot goes through and just turns in time to kill him. Around the... Very easily could have gone the way of Heretics, but... Wow, the Judge... It taketh and it giveth.
Usually giveth a bit of damage, but you gotta aim it, you know, at the opponent.
There's a few players where it giveth a lot, maybe a bit too much.
Especially the Neons. Kalasha gonna put his name in the hat, up close, spamming away. There's one already, but now in trouble, out of ammo, goes to the Classic, but Hero trades it out, and that trade, terrible for Team Heretics. Not only a man behind, but the spike is down. They've smoked deep, mollied in front. That space is theirs. And now this narrow battleground, it's almost cost Comeback his life as well. Good return by Boo. Numbers even, but the HP far from, and the man who could heal them up is already down and out.
Right there.
It still feels recoverable the way it started.
Gun here.
Well, it almost felt like an eco. Players running through a smoke. It's not an eco. They've got guns on the other side, but they've actually got an opportunity to reclaim this. Brooksik might be forced into the TP. Yeah, now it just leaves Filu with a decision to make. A teammate rotating in. Cloric is the one that may look to take this fight. Still a sniper on the other side. He's got to be careful peeking into, and they are playing more passively. That gives Filu a chance for the trade. Fantastic from Benji Fishy. Keeps things even. Gives an opportunity for post.
Orb goes up.
Oh.
Can't quite get the
That
angle.
time.
Benji slips away to the side, looking for the 1v1, but losing it. And now, the leader on the other side, yet again, has to win out the clutch. We're going to have Navi neck and neck. Man advantage to play with. But no smokes to block him off. They don't know where he is, and already the Grabwell's buying him more time, but Cloric's been clinical on these angles, and with the wide swing, hold on! Who isolates one and steps back in for the next! A 3K, a Red Bull clutch, and another round for Boo! These clutches, they just keep on coming!
It really has been the battle of him versus Clark for who's going to have... maybe not clutch today, that one's gone. That one's gone. The sheer quantity of clutches definitely sits firmly in the hands of Boo.
Yes! Come on!
Even just the goal to re-peak there.
That little bit of aggression you need.
It's the timing. Like, basically, he goes, okay, I've got that kill, but he's going to expect me now to hide and play the time.
He has to
So I'll swing. 3-1. A round that started incredibly well for NAVI with a spike dropped and a man advantage. But it's Boo that takes it home and sends their economy packing. Still, they're going to want to try and keep this one clean. Not a whole lot for their opponents to play with, but the Clark one-off ult with Ruxic already with his in play. They are being a little bit more careful throwing in those Seekers.
The 2-0 is tarnished for Team Heretics, but walking through the ruin of that previous map and coming out stronger, at least for Boo. 5th round seems solid for now. Judge and Bucky being a decent danger, but the Judge is miles away with no real position. It is that Bucky that scares me. The man he's running into has an outlaw. It's not easy up that close. One shot to the body, all that's needed, but now they've backed off. Now they've made this a much harder fight. Got in with a classic and got comeback. No one was watching. Flash popped and he creates the space, but the trades don't come quickly. Now for Ruxic, down to the spike, perhaps as a rifle there. But the Judge for more damage at least gets one. Decently done. But Heretics steaming into the lead.
Yeah, already looking good. 4-1 on the attack. Okay, again, costly round, but as long as the rounds are building, I don't think they're going to mind too much. Whether or not the streak is going to come to an end. And in fact, we are going to see a fairly early pause from NAVI. I feel like, obviously with Angel, he's been quite sparing with the pauses, like happy to use them when he feels the team needs them most. So evidently, even though you win a singular round and then your economy's reset, it's not the most damning. Clearly there's been something within the communication or within what he's been seeing where he's like, okay, I actually need to step in a bit earlier here and get us back on track now.
Yeah, proactive pause. And look, 4-1 down. I don't think it would have been what he saw in the last round, but before that, maybe seeing Boo clutch as well so consistently. But I can't even fault that. The 1v2 I don't think was played that badly. It was more that Boo caught that angle. He swung just wide enough to see one and get back around the corner. And then that little extra aggression that Cloric wasn't ready for. Although he couldn't really have been at the sprint for the spike. Whatever he's seen, Angels ran out of time to touch base with the boys, and we're right back. See if they can correct this course. 4 ultimates to play with, an op already in the hands of Filu. But this round slipping away would really have alarm bells ringing.
It could also just be expectations. Like if he expects them to get 7, 8 rounds on the defensive side, then he needs to pause now. Because you need a streak of rounds. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. When you've got the Viper, Brim, Chamber, like a lot of these agents are really going to help you out on the defensive side. And a slower pace attack might not necessarily garner you too much. And you can say the same for their opponents. Like it's those solo duelist comps with Chamber, but you get the point. You still favor him on the defense. Viper's pin used to section off some space over on A, but the rest of the team are still looking to pressure into mid. So it's more looking like they're just trying to stop them if they were to swing back through the pit. A lot of damage on to Kolosha. 2 HP just off spams. Again, he's on his last legs.
They're completely ignoring the Viper's pit. They know at this point there's only one player in there. It's the Viper. It's a pretty safe bet. With that, they know the rest of the aggression will come down towards mid, a fight they look to take to their opponents before push comes to shove. A nice opening. Chloric the one to connect. Brienne's down and out, but Benji now wants to create some space. And he strikes at just the right moment, but Chloric not pulling any punches. And he'll be traded out to leave. Guess who? It's Boo alone. 1 versus 3. 20 seconds to work with. He can't plant there. He knows it. Trying to force a fight, a favorable one perhaps, but there's not really anything on offer. That smoke stands strong, but the box easily spammable. 4-2, a great response by NAVI, and again, Chloric stealing the show.
Yeah, well, it's the fact that his own flash gets him an opener. Like, he was almost trying to maybe give something to his teammate. Instead, he's the one that swings out and finds the kill anyway, and it's sort of reactive plays as well. Solid shot onto Wu, keeping both players, and especially with the Benji coming in from behind, he was screwed. There was no way out of that scenario. He was dead, but it was just how many he took with him, and he took more than his fair share.
Now round 7 sees Heretics with mostly pistols, but a tour de force activated, and that's not Filu pulling it out. Comeback looks to bolster this attack side, and it will be towards B. Towards B long, in fact. He's already given away that position. The flash told them someone's there, but the shot from Comeback, anticipating aggression. Yeah, like, honestly.
No clutch this time.
Someone checked this guy's PC, he's found another, and that was through the smoke with a crazy spam. They do close the distance, and with Woot on their heels, there's danger around the corner, and it's coming! Full speed ahead for Woot! And up in his hands now with the tour de force as well. It's a difficult round brewing for NAVI. They have to fight their way back into the site. An ult from Kalasha, but he's 15 HP now. That ult is almost null and void. A stray shot can take him down.
Yeah, committed.
Toxins going up.
Orbital strike. Another his third of the round. That operator into his hands almost seems like a death sentence. They're going to need Hero to pull off a monstrous play, but they need him to do it very quick. Already spotting one. Second player, he might just see the scope, but he needs to get everything in a second. There's one, there's two, the third will be seen. Heroes with a chance, but he needs to get this defusal, and the time is far too far gone. He might get every single kill, but he will not survive.
Phenomenal attempt, but yeah, he did take too long, but if he didn't, they didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Did the best that he could.
To get the kill.
Exactly.
That was the moment.
Then they could have won the round. A narrow margin, but almost clutching victory from the jaws of defeat, but in the end, it still goes to Heretics. Sensational play. But one that will be forgotten if this still falls into the hands of Heretics. You can see that gap being left open. And
that's skippable.
It's not the first time that we've seen a gap left by Heretics and NAVI to fill it in, but this time at least, it's still the round win for the attackers.
I still get to shoot those flashes every time I see them.
Oh, same. It happens a lot.
Like a reaction, but won't help. You are still going to be blinded.
Blinded.
Viper's pit this time. Over onto the B site. A 3-man stack up. Now, bear in mind, Tour de Force is now in for Filu. But Kalasha, well, I was going to say he's only on a sheriff, but probably the best kill I've seen from him all. That was almost 2. Almost lining up for him.
Yeah, he just wants the dog from too close. Like, yeah, you get that extra round, but you pay for it. Roxic. It's not quite the Chloric spray down. He doesn't land, and now the site under threat. The tour de force all by its lonesome with the neon sliding around. It's a terrifying time. Be in his shoes, and Filu. Okay, well, he actually avoids the dog. The dog's his teammates, never mind. He's clearing out a lot of space for them. At least he knows his back is secure, can stare forward, but at what? They've already pulled the advantage into 2, and yes, Filu responds with it. No, they're okay! I'm starting to believe now.
Blank.
The timing could be key. If he can distract them, Chloric could find an easy kill onto Boo, but Boo is locked in on that position. But Chloric wins it anyways! Again, a near impossible round, but they've done it!
Oh my god.
Filu landing 4 beautiful shots! That's all he had to work with was 4. And every single one found its mark. That is beautiful from NAVI. And an unexpected clutch, to say the least.
No, you can see the sort of eye look that we had from Neo in the last round is because these things felt more and more possible. Like they get the opening picks, put themselves again into a massive advantage, and then they're just giving these fights up. Now, don't get me wrong, the shots that are being hit are wonderful, but you don't need to be facing. You have the opportunity for the post-point. You can group up together and swing the spike if they tap it, but they're all in angles, wanting a fight, and hey, give it to NAVI. Give it. They'll take the fights all day long. You're not out-aiming this team.
This is it. And again, we've said it all series. It's a discipline issue. You've seen it from the very word go on Heretics. Advantages not converted has been the theme of today. Both teams have suffered, but Heretics, that seems to be the bread and butter.
Well, luckily for them, Woot has been on form. Hero. Well placed. Fair play. Again, just ripping heads off like it's no man's business. Well, we've spoken about the peak of individual skill, and there's a few NAVI players that sit up there, even just throughout today. Hero 12 and 5, but again, like you look at this score and you think Heretics could be so much further in the lead if they could convert their advantages. Not in this round though, they got slammed.
Nice, Hero! Hero! Yeah, we thought the Clork was going to be a good addition to this roster in the first few rounds, seeing him uplift everyone. He's 1 and 5, and we're like, well, you know, maybe he can shoot. He even said maybe Angel's going to put himself back in. if I've ever seen Angel make any plays like that, my mind's been wiped. Because nothing comes to mind.
I think if you go back, Angel has some of the craziest clutches of all time. But then he probably has 6 kills for the whole game.
Yes, exactly. Not only that, but I will say that is during a time when we had the best team in Europe running like on a set. Let's just go B every round.
A 1v5 on Haven, like literally like. Oh, I swear it wasn't that long ago. Like I think I don't know. Angel had his moments. Now he's
trying to get brownie points because you called him old that one time. It's kind of outrageous.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, time's caught up to Heretics. Time out as they're 1 round ahead. And I would not want to be on the receiving end of whatever Neil's speech is right now. Him and Weber, they seem to be losing hair in that booth over this series.
The thing is, a lot of the stuff that loses them rounds is just like, yeah, like when you have a massive advantage, maybe don't keep fighting. Like it seems simple, but the confidence they have works to get them the openers, but then is also losing them the round at the same time. So it is definitely difficult to find that balance. For now, though, a lot of space playing.
Smoke's down.
By NAVI, and an early hook control was there for the side of Heretics, but they've opted to give it up and head back towards this A side. That Tiger's going to have to do its job, because there is a judge waiting on. They're not going to send it. They're not going to send it through. They're just trying to go in blind. And, well, that's risky. That's very, very risky in the current meta. Another snake bite for Hero. That one wasn't intentional. Well, Colossia a little late, but he's got the job done. Some heals from his IGL, and only Woot standing. He will find nothing more.
Well, Neil might call another timeout. That was not pretty. To come into that round, they had the right idea. Let's send the dog through. Let's see what's happening. And then they decide, no, just full contact, full blitz.
I understand it because it's like, from where we've seen their opponents playing so far, it's mostly been Colossia who's been jump spotting over towards lamps. So you can get through that angle without anybody being there. It just so happens that this is the round they put a judge there. So like, I get the call. It's like, okay, I don't think there's going to be someone here, but when there is, you're screwed.
I'll tell you the one problem I have with that. They didn't hear Colossia jump spotting. Something else was afoot, as it is now. Already running down through bathroom, looking for that control. Smokes are blocking off the big player of Filu with the big old gun. He steps in now. Opportunities denied, at least for the time being. And a deep control on the site. No one's looking at him finally.
Oh no.
Will we come back to drop 2? There was a little bit of an oversight, but failing to capitalize on the other side.
This is an incredibly low buy round that's come through from Heretics. Again, they've been so good at getting the openers. It's just the closers that they've had trouble with. Comeback goes walkabouts. Another advantage slips away. Another gun hits the deck. And NAVI players, it's safe to say, even though they might be new teammates, stand-ins, whatever you name it, when it comes to synergy, there's been far more of it from their side. In the 2v2 clutch. Yeah, luckily, Boo is still standing. That star is going to cause them some issues. They're going to try and get the block in. And no, it's not worked. Not quite. Not going to be able to get it to half. That has bought enough time. And now Wook can go diving in. He's been taken out as well. But that clock, it might be ticking too far. It's going to be incredibly close if they get this over the line in half a second. It was just enough for them to secure the round.
A narrow margin, but they've done it again. Even got the op out of there as well. Just as the round ended. For NAVI, how they are in this position.
We don't need this one. Come on, man.
I fully support this message.
But
for NAVI, this squad was down 5-2. And from that point, it's not been dominance across the board. There's been so many opportunities for Heretics to take it across the line. They win the hard rounds. They win the Boo clutches. But now it seems like the basics are a real issue. And we go to round 12. The last chance. Orbital Strike being just ripped out immediately. Pit sent towards B. Chlorix there as well. They've got a lot of control on that side with the chamber trip. My eye on the double operators, Heaven and Lamps. There are so many traps set for Team Heretics here.
This is definitely very unorthodox. Like, it's basically watching a position that they can't be in. Because if they are, Feeler would be dead. Now it makes a little bit more sense. Come on, the spam through. Gonna do a bit of damage. Not anything too crazy so far. Seekers just looking to be destroyed. Looks to claim ground, but whoa. Clearly a second weapon was ready and waiting for Ruxic. He's thrown it down. Comeback trying to close out onto Hero, who wants to try and surround them.
Oh no, the shot doesn't land. The second does though. The slow making it a bit easier. The headhunter finds only the body. And Kalasha, he shows you how it's done. A 7th round for NAVI. A team that was 5-2 down. I'm getting deja vu to Lotus. And they lead 7-5 at the half. What a resurgence from this squad.
हेलो जो भी स्ट्रीम पे आ रहा है इतना लाइक करो भाई। अच्छा लैंस में ऐसा फाइट हुआ। लैंस वाले को निकालना चाहिए। स्पेस दे दिया। ओह आ जाएगा अभी कभी जाएगी। ना वजह मतलब आ गया को क्या मैच चल रहा है भाई क्या लग रहा है टीएच या नावी मैं तो टीएच को सपोर्ट करता हूँ लग तो रहा है टीएच जीतेगा पर नावी भी बाप कर रहा है अरे मच्छर का क्या प्रॉब्लम है पता नहीं काट रहे हो कैरियर तो वो काट गई अभी मच्छर काट रहा है चलो 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 चलो
in the past, but a great start to stage 1 here, and they are pushing Heretics to the limit.
Yeah, I think we've seen this a few times where the people have managed to sort of change up the way that they're playing and reinvent themselves. And so far for Filu, yeah, he's had some incredible impact moments throughout this game. Decent statistics as well. So it's like, as a chamber player, that's all you can really hope for. Obviously, the man on the other side, Comeback, has also been performing. To see, this is the round for him. Obviously, first pistol did go in the direction of Heretics. They may need the second.
50.
Ruxic spotted the push-up on A. The plan was to come back in this direction, but a lot of ground lost there as well now. Navi will still go for the late clear, but Heretics, they look to pressure Filu. He'll get out of there.
इधर से भगा रहे हैं सब जगह.
Rejoin the pack and look to take this side. Heretics have been in a 3-man death play, moving back and forth. Finally, they get the fight. Shots return, but landed into Wu. Good slide in. Trades coming the way of Navi. And it's all thanks to Ruxic. A triple kill that gets them the plant and the man advantage. Somewhere that was never a safe round when Team Heretics had these advantages to play with. Let's see if Navi can make better use.
Check the flank. They know that there's nobody coming from this direction. Filu not even taking the risk. Wants to just get out of there. They know where he is, but they have no idea where his teammates are. Well, he almost took one of them with him instead. Fu has been able to clear out Hero. That's the one unknown man. Now just going to try and sit within the smoke. Half is what they're looking for, and half is what they found. Trying to bait them in for a little bit. And it is all Ruxic. To claim the second pistol and extend that lead a little further.
Ruxic the Reaper down on that stage, 16 to 8 with that pistol under his belt. Trading all the way through to that spike plant. And with some brilliance in his own. It's the fact that he's mid-spam on what should be the diffuser, and he can make that adjustment so quickly. 8 to 5, and a pistol round for Navi. Keep in mind, Heretics 5-2 up. That was because of the pistol. On Lotus, it wasn't. It was the rifle rounds that they managed to put 5 in a row to send Navi into a deficit before the resurgence. Now losing this one, the 9 to 5. We are genuinely just playing Lotus again.
Yeah, that's the thing is, last map you have excuses. You lost some silly clutches and you lost both pistols. This map, well, you have still lost some silly clutches, but you didn't lose both pistols. They didn't have a boost in both halves. Navi have found the boost exactly when they needed to. Hero just going to be tucking in, of course. He's only got a pistol. He's the one player that doesn't really have a weapon to gamble. A double up at players will make it difficult to get past, but they may now start gambling that rotation. It's not a bad start for Heretics. But can they get anything more here? The rest will be damaged and okay. Filu's just been destroyed, and in fact it's come down to just one. This man again in a clutch, 4 to 5? I don't believe.
Just as it seems like doom and gloom for Team Heretics, they come out with just a complete BS round. Of course, the plant for Chloric, he might get it, okay. It looks like he will. But Boo wrapping up behind him should finish this one off, and in fact, it'll be the 3 players in spawn to lock that in. 6 on the board for Heretics. A pistol lost, but no problem. It's even better to win the second instead. Just a little harder to do.
Yeah, now all the excuses really do
give
themselves that boost into the second half. As I said, expectations from the compositions is that they have an awful lot of delay, a lot of opportunities for comeback to get aggressive. Benji's still getting loud. Of course, for anybody wondering, that was Ruxic's 4th ace.
It was his 4th ace.
Only one hero wonder.
He's a big car man, I've heard.
We've actually got Cairo right in the toast now, so.
Hey, English isn't his first language.
We shouldn't be able to tell. Right, round 15, and Navi left with pistols and a rifle. Well, Heretics made it work.
8-7
bounce right back. I hope they don't. I want more of a competitive game. And it looks like Comeback does too. Nice shot landed. He's staying up top for the spam. Why not? But now they're going to break through. Flash doesn't catch him. He holds that right side. They know the push is coming towards the side, so Benji is more than ready for that fight. Comeback steps in to help out. And getting out's a problem. Ruxic on the pistols found more, and not like this. Returning the favor of the previous round. It's Rien's alone, a rifle in hand, but his opponents have just the same. This felt like Heretic's opportunity. A door left wide open. All they had to do was walk through, and they would be neck and neck. But now Rien's has to make the clutch happen. Molly sent over, nice and early. A little too early, perhaps, but it's going to work out in his favor. Rien's sees that Ruxic is nice and far back.
Ultimate
Strike will be used here, and by then the clock should pretty much be gone. It's going to let him get it to half, but the time so low. That half could save it. It's going to put.
Oh my god!
He's swinging. He had it. He just had to wait, but it's thrown away. A Red Bull clutch. Well played, but as poorly played as possible.
Yeah, you see the other side of the coin. You want that maybe surprise factor when you don't hit the shot.
2.5 seconds.
The opportunity.
Yeah, he downed it.
That's where things slip away. That's where. Oh, the heads are back in their hands.
I mean, they won the round. It was genuinely, you do nothing, you win. But well, you have to peek out at the very end. But you know what I mean. Patience, not a factor here. And no shortage of mistakes in this series. Certainly a lot to be improved. That's the spike down through the wall. Colossus just being domed through the wall. Well, good night and sweet dreams.
Whoa!
Spike down. Oh,
Chamber
back
versus
and forth
Chamber.
like a game of tennis. No one can get a streak going.
It seems like the momentum shift has come through. That second round victory, the clutch out from Rien's. It's got the wind in the sails of Heretics, and I was going to say, well, they only have one surviving. Maybe there's an opportunity to do some damage to that economy in this round. Nope. Nope. It's on Ruxic and Hero.
ये round हार गए तो next round उनका बाय भी नहीं इको पे आ जाएंगे.
Ace, if they were going to be able to turn this one around.
As time ticks, I think it's quite clear that this will just be the save pulled into play.
Save कर रहे हैं.
And it goes from bad to worse, really, from that seat. You can see how upset Angel was to see that last round thrown to the wind, but
I don't blame him.
30 seconds left.
I'm right there with him.
I have no investment.
If I could call a tactical pause to speak to them, I would. But
that won't help anybody.
No, it won't.
It
won't help them. It won't help your career.
Relieve the stress. Once we don't do a listening, we'll be all right. But yeah, like to then go into this round where you lose the spike seconds in, the round is basically over. It's a real gut punch for NAVI. This was their chance to be sat 10-6. And instead, so far from grace, 8-8 Heretics climb their way back up, fight their way back into this. And for them, it's got to feel great. Yeah, they know that a mistake was made the round before, but that one right there was then grab at destiny. No excuses left on the table.
I think the most important thing as well is you look at how the end of that half was. It was 5 rounds in a row, and it felt like NAVI could do nothing wrong. Like it felt like they were getting kills. It felt like they were getting aggressive and succeeding. So just to shut them out like that, winning yourself an eco round, then winning yourself a clutch round. Those are the sort of rounds that get you back into a match. Now it seems like they're firing. Comeback forced off the angle. Kolosha. I don't think that wall's going to help them out too much, but TPing. That has given them an opportunity. Seekers just trying to put the pressure on to come back once again. The spam's doing damage, a lot of damage in fact. He is still alive for now.
Yeah, kept up a little healthier. Shield's gone, but at least his life force isn't drained completely thanks to the Sky Heal. They wrap back around to A, setting up in heaven with the AWP, but NAVI have not changed direction. They are still cyber focused on this B site. And that means that Big Boy Boo is going to have to come through with another huge play. He is going back towards the elbow, backing out of that corner where it would have been, you know, one and done in the best of times. And if Cloric sends through that dog, I think he would have just been done. Instead, he's got an angle to play from, and out they go. Never mind. finished before it started.
That right there is the most annoying thing about playing a Neon.
नहीं
Because if you kill him, you're at least
Wala
like
ka na.
1-for-1. But if you miss while he's doing all this ridiculous stuff, and
आना ही
then you
नहीं
get
देना
killed by
था
someone else, like, well, I either had to ignore a player, which is stupid, or I had to try and hit someone that's moving at the speed of sound, which also is stupid.
They're going for this.
Economy's not bad.
Roxic.
Last player standing.
Oh,
Okay, well,
They are getting dunked. Rooksik really has been informed.
save
this
करेगा,
round,
off-
right?
off
There's
save
been
करेगा.
other highlights in the previous two, but this has been that sort of peak form that we've seen from him. And something I'm really happy about, we spoke to Angel at kickoff, and he was like, if I can get Rooksik playing Chamber all the time, and there was something in my head that was just going, you really don't need to. Like, you could put this guy on anything, especially that controller role,
Yeah, the
and he looks
Omen.
so incredibly comfortable. He's looking fantastic once again.
it's usually the Omen that you see him on having so much success, but here on Bind again,
Viper as well.
I think he made one of the biggest blunders for them in that 1v1, but now he knows, I gotta make up for that or I'm gonna get an earful from Angel as soon as this game's over. You know what, I think he's doing a damn good job of it.
Whoa.
He must have more than, well, I can actually see, yeah, more than the 2 KD right now, 21 and 10. Hell, if you look at the KDA, it's off the charts. But why would you do that? So 9 rounds on the board, looking for double digits now on that attack side. And it looks like NAVI, they've got a challenge coming their way. In the choke point, ready and waiting. We've seen this great stun from Scott. We've seen the aggression come towards Bathroom before, but now they're playing up close and personal, looking to lure these players in. But Benji, he didn't know how close they got.
Big crouch,
Now
big.
the pressure on for Wu to deliver, and he does. The surprise factor ends up getting them some, and now they trade places, waiting patiently for the rotate through. But look how deep Hero's gone. He's fighting into their spawn, but now, oh man. The Viper Orb in your spawn. Where do you go? Where does the rotate come to now?
Yeah.
NAVI or the defense?
They fully set up for a post-plant
Backside.
ahead.
Nasty, I love it.
Backside plant लिया.
Positioning in the mid-round, something we gave them a lot of credit for when it came to Lotus and Cloric. This angle might not be expected because of where it is. Oh, chance for 2, but it is just the one. Another hero still needed with Wu, the one that's thriving, his 3rd kill of the round already. Gonna be looking for a little bit more, looking for his opponent and finding once again only one man.
Wow,
The
niकल लिया ना.
Wu seal the deal. 9-9, scoreline equalized, but it's Wu that's done the most.
It's a really tough play to get back into as well for Heretics. Like that deep of control, this is where a lot of people will make a mistake. And hell, even just that shot for Hero connected could have changed the game. But they made the right move on the defense by, once they get those kills on Wu, you immediately see Rien's come to him and they go back down short.
Yeah.
Say, let's not get isolated in a 2vx.
임팩트, bro. Good job, bro.
That does give them spawn, but that call is made. The realization is there, and they avoid that danger zone. 9-9 and a timeout for NAVI.
That's the thing. That is almost a polar opposite to what we've seen them do so far.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas it's Wu literally getting those openers in the most aggressive spot possible and just disengage. Like just going, okay, now we have an advantage. I don't need to be a hero. I don't need to be running in and taking all of these fights. I can do that when there's an opportunity to trade. Now, the funny thing is, in this circumstance, there was no opportunity for trade because he didn't die. He just kept going, even, I think, got the defuse at the end. So it was a fantastic round from Woot, but it's more just looking at how they played it. It's like, okay, that fundamentally was much, much better from Heretics. And that's exactly what they want to be seeing on the coaching side. On the other side of things, okay, it's the same spot that Rooksik got away with in the first half, that close angle not being cleared properly. If you are able to use that spot, you should probably clear that spot.
Yeah, of course. And with him being missing towards bathroom as well, we don't have the enemy missing ping. That's a different game, but maybe we could have used it there. 9-9. Double digits will be found here, but who is the first to break that barrier as the timer ticks away? Passive on A. Heretics only have 2 players there. The deep flash sees nothing towards B-Long, but now they hear the noise. They found one. Is a second player expected? It doesn't matter, because the plan was never to fully commit here. They wanted to put pressure on, and now they'll move back towards this A site where Woot is waiting. Judge in hand, ult in the back pocket, and Benji holding down that bathroom.
They're
Tough
gonna
hold.
check. They're definitely checking that right side this time. Woot has moved. Benji under pressure. being spammed. The heals even coming through mid-fight just to try and keep Kolosha standing. This is a risk from Filu. He's going to need lightning fast reactions, but instead he's now posted waiting on the angle. Opts to step away, and that might be the right call, especially now that the plant's in. He doesn't need to play this aggressively. Okay! It's been quiet from Kolosha so far, but that was a wonderful shot. Clearing out the judge and giving them control.
Yeah, the op posted there as well. Flash is going to send him back, but another player in the corner. Position given away. That could be a big mistake from Clark, but never mind. The Classic comes out to clean up, and Boo left on the other side of the map. Flashbacks to Pearl. He's got nothing to do but carry this op forward if he's allowed. And it looks like he will be. Double digits for Navi, and a victor still hard to claim, hard to find favor for either side. The economy is still decent on Heretics as well. They'll be able to buy right back up into this.
Round.
10-9.
What?
Big round from Kolosha. As I said, like, a lot of this game has been him getting utterly slaughtered, but getting that opener, also clearing out lamps, like two very important fights for the squad. Even Brooksix having fun. Still a long way to go, as you said.
Heading to the above.
Operator actually goes into Woot's hands just because they have that tour de force available. So a double operator judge is coming in. Almost makes me a little bit sick in the mouth, but we'll see if it works.
Whoa!
Well, Filu
down to 1.
Takes the opening kill, so it's a good job they've got a second up. Kolosha up close, gets dropped by Benji, but the trades are good. Job done by Kolosha. And now Woot, well, he's in a lot of trouble. Has to use his op, show that second operator, show that flare. The Molly at least pulled out early on, but with a Viper's Pit to play back on, that's where the real problems start to brew. Wrap around from Boo, judge in hand. It's probably the best weapon for this position, but now they know about it. And they still jump in to try to fight it. Woot even giving that covering fire that drops the pit. Hero stepped out of it to try to trade his teammate, and in the end, it's gone badly wrong. The side caught by Filu. Unbelievable shot. And Boo, as good as he's been in the clutches, he's up against Cloric. 11-9, Navi running away with this, a gap of 2 and a chance to close it out soon.
I don't know if we're going to be able to slow-mo that enough. That was a lightning fast shot, a fantastic opener from him. I want to see it. This was a decent recovery from these two, but it's so quick. Because also you kind of expect him to maybe go a little bit further. You have to almost stop yourself in the flick. I will say, obviously you'll look at the stats we've seen in official matches. I have been hearing for an eternity, like dating back to when he first played in the league, that this guy in scrims is one of the best. Like the guy that you fear to play against and someone you enjoy playing with. And when it comes to official matches, we've never really seen that level. Like glimpses of him being decent, but never like the guy that was carrying Navi through matches. We looked at Rooksy, we looked at Hero. Today, he has had enough moments where I'm like, okay, this role might actually be the one that works for him, because he has been unreal with the operator. He's not the guy going in first all the time. He's not the guy that has to run and take the space, but he's the guy that's being set up to flourish, and he is. And in this game so far, Kolosha, he's done his role. Sure, you'd like to see a little bit more from him, and I think the exit coming in, you may see that little bit more. I think he's got that additional flair. But if they come out with a stand-in with a new IGL, with changes to their roster, and beat Heretics in your first game, I don't know. Angel might even be happy afterwards. I'm not certain of that. That's still risky, but...
As well, the fact that Navi have had so many problems so far, and Cloric's been able to patch those sails mid-voyage, it's been really good to see the potential of this squad. Now, not only do you fall back from B long, but you see that they take that space with the trip being activated. Now, Boo will sit patiently waiting for his opportunity, but Filu lands the shot anyways. In goes Kolosha, and he's got 2! Kolosha's on the server, baby! Turns up in the final hour. He wasn't interested in putting them in the coffin. He just wanted to hammer in that final nail. And it looks like he's turned up just in time. 12 should be on the board. And the question Heretics have to ask is, do you go for it? And in fact, that question was already asked, already answered. A save called here 3 in a row. And considering how this started and even the streak on Lotus where they took into the lead, this will be a disappointing defeat if this ends in favor of NAVI for the squad of Heretics who, like we showed earlier, that this is a team that last year could have won an international event. They've looked so good at so many points throughout their history of this roster. Starting off stage 1 with disappointment.
Yeah, not only hunting for the kill, but an opportunity to get an additional orb. That's an ult online. From the defensive side, that's so important. But again, Vilu, he walks into again an off angle that you kind of don't really expect someone to just be sat in, an immediate flick. On the other side of things.
All of you don't know what they're doing, guys.
Oh, good to see that Vilu is feeling it. 12-9, 3 rounds in a row, 1 more needed. And they've got their first point on the board.
I think almost everybody doubted them coming into this, and especially when you hear that Exit was not going to be playing today, that they'd play with a stand-in, Chloric, an unknown factor as well, and how he'd perform at this level, but all questions answered. This system that they've built in the off-season, it's finding mass rewards here. And for Heretics, this could be right back to the drawing board with a lot of work to do ahead of the next few weeks of competition. Benji, the one to be challenged first. Up close, Phantom in hand. Wall blocks his teammate off. He finds one still, but he can't get out of here. Orbital strike going to be sent in, and Vilu lands the shot. They're willing to throw everything at this round because only 1 more is needed, but we start with even trades.
I've got your trail.
Is available. It's been popped intentionally over on towards that B site. Trying to give the game away, and it does! The swing in from Rians. He was looking for info. Instead, well, I guess he found it. There's an operator still watching, still waiting. It puts the pressure on to come back. He's had some incredible moments. Some ruined by the IGL on the other side. And now into that post plant.
Play.
Time ticking here, pressure on for Heretics. They close in the distance, but Vilu hits it a second time. Who can't get away with anything? And a fourth for Vilu. 13-9. Even with borrowed hands, NAVI hold the line and stay afloat in this series. 2-1. Sensational play for a squad with a stand-in, and they make it look easy.
A last-minute change.
VCT खेल रहा है
18 years of age to try and sort of fill the gaps. The Ukrainian coach brings in the youngster. Let's be real, it was the stars that they already had and the new IGL that really made this team look special. Vilu on that chamber looked fantastic. Hero and Ruxic, they're right where they needed to be, right where they were before. But Chloric, he's already made some of the plays of the tournament on his first day in the building.
Yeah, without a doubt, that Lotus play is going to be hard to beat, sticking in our minds for quite a while. A well-earned bow to a new face of NAVI. They haven't even got the full crew on the deck, but it's smooth sailing. Get that man in the air. A beautiful job all around, and Vilu showing us a new ceiling.
strength 4. Yeah. देखो
Sense. I really want to know about that.
As in, like, helping the team, like, as much as he can, like, making sure everyone is doing their, like,
Oh, so the
proper job.
micromanaging, you mean?
Yeah.
You like that? You like the micromanaging?
I think Lorik is insane, bro. Like,
He makes your life easy?
I mean, he's taking spike for me, he's jumping for me. I need to just shoot, like, it's easy to shoot for me. Like, I can shoot every day if he jumps for me, like.
And we
honestly, Brooks, like if you were on my team, I would jump for you so you can shoot.
I mean, we saw you shoot a lot. We actually have the ace as well that we wanted to show you just to relive that moment, because when we're looking at you guys today, especially something that you've done really well is that aggression, but a little bit of run down memory lane. Do you want to let us know what was going through your head?
I mean, like, I'm just running around, like, I'm shooting people, like, I don't know, for me, nothing special, like, I'm just playing my own game for team.
And just clicking some heads. It really feels like during this series, each and one of you had a moment to pop off. So how was that also coming out in the comps? Because we were like listening to you guys at the end of the rounds and whatnot. But there's been like key moments to this match where you guys have had individual moments that have kind of paved the way to the victory. So how was the nerves, especially comparing map 1 to map 3?
I mean, map 1, like, it was going well, like, we was losing some clutches or we didn't adapt to harbor comp, like, we was waiting, like, backside, but we need to play, like, in front of the side. Like, if you wait backside, they will gonna farm us. Like, we talk second mate about this, and we try to adapt, and we win. Like, last map, like, it was easy. I lose one weird clutch, but it was easy. Like, we played good. We played like a team.
You did. And to really, really put it into perspective, before the match today, Heretics actually put out a tweet that it's been 715 days since they lost a game in the group stage. So now that you've dethroned them, you've stopped that winning streak, that must also give you a lot of confidence in terms of moving forward in your group as well.
I mean, yeah, like, it definitely gives us a lot of confidence. Like, it was a bit chaotic, but in the end, I'm like happy with how it went.
I think that what I want to see with this question is more so like, in kickoff, we were so excited for you guys, and you started off giving us such amazing first 2 matches. What do you think you have to do differently? Or, you know, what was the circumstance then that you do not want to see repeated here? So this continues into the, you know, the entirety of the season and hopefully playoffs as well.
I mean, like, honestly, I don't think we need to do anything different. Like, we just need to keep doing like what we're doing right now and just listen to like what our IGL's like telling us. And like, I think back then, the mistake that we did was like, we changed basically how we played, and like, we went to a different sort of style, and that kind of costed us like a lot
and
of
we
games.
was playing like out of the meta, like everyone was playing double duelist. He was running like sky race. Think like we fixed it right now.
You like what you're playing now?
Right now it's good. Like, we are playing good right now. We will improve. If you improve, like, we can qualify to international easily.
Really quick before we let you go, so I really want to ask, because next week you're playing against Sociable, and I want some predictions. You saw how Foot won yesterday, right? What was your thought on how he was doing?
I mean, I was happy for him. Like, I like him a lot, and I think where he is, like, he's doing good, and I'm happy for him.
So how's next week go? How's it gonna go?
I mean, we'll win, but good luck.
That's what we're looking forward to. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Congratulations. We're going to be heading over to a very quick break, and we'll be back with our second match of the day, so don't go anywhere.
back with a few things that maybe to add to their team because, you know, extremely inexperienced. I think they can be very proud of what they've achieved, even though they themselves may think that they were better than what they did there.
But also just a lot of fire after how that Santiago run went for them specifically. So if you at home want a little bit of a catch up, we got you covered.
In our mind, we are not rookies, we are just same as them. We just did our homework, we went out there, and we just do what we do. We are better at shooting, better at reading the game, better at analyzing. We are just better. We have no fear from any EMEA team or any team in the world.
Tries to stand up, it's on Loida. 1v2 in the post blind. Oh! The double face here surely means that this is the end of the road. Surely LaRock can't get it done either. And so, the brash and boastful BBL forced to kiss the ring.
We didn't learn so much from them. We knew what they were gonna do. It was obvious. We read them most of the rounds, but we already, because of pressure maybe. I don't know why. That's unlucky. Nothing we can do at the moment.
Check on the defuse, right? Someone will check on this. Someone has to deal with what? BBL, 5 rookies with young, talented players with great intuition for the game, and frankly, talking about baby doesn't fall immediately. He's going for 2. He's in shots now, baby. That's 3. The connection not good enough, and Trent is out for blood. Desperate to dig deeper.